right in the heart with a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on me. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No hands out for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught them shots. Another piece of the puzzle connecting dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If she gon' walk it like a model for me, like I don't see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends with advice to land. Not special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't take my words, just pack and issue that raw dough. Just pack and issue that raw dough. Pack and issue that raw dough. To the people that listen, my people, they know that I do care. With their hands in the air, rocking side to side. Now my work, yeah, it's time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the back, label to change up his swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the sheet get, wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock a thing for fade, swagger tailor-made. Polo collars and fly kicks. Just polo collars and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get big. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shot.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, let the blind lead the blind, they all follow you.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. He act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, brown nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reverend. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, packing the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange food, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, you treat you like Othello. L.A.R. we the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just imperial. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy B. And the meanest, baddest mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me a strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crook can just say homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here and pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe 2 up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a cop, he last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone. And now she want welfare. Lost said that they can't live there, so we ain't there. And life ain't fair, but the food free and the rent cheap. His roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, go while your ass out. They looking back saying, why, y'all ain't ever in the house? You got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got it in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking we're Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. America bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
What's happening, fam? You know, L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, we about to get into the topic. And basically, I've been chilling. Got a lot of stuff I've been doing, but at the end of the day, what I see a lot of the times on social media is people being soft and psychotic. And to me, that's a problem. It's a huge problem that we kind of overlook or don't address enough when we're looking at situations and people in society. And what I mean is, you got a lot of people out here who pretty much do trifling things and play the victim. And what I mean is, I've seen too many times where somebody makes themselves a victim in their own mind. And because they're a victim in their own mind, you know, they burn all kinds of bridges. They do all kinds of evil, degenerate stuff is because, I was a victim in my mind. The only reason I did this is because I thought you would do that, or you did this, so it caused me to, just jump completely off the leg, go completely left. And it's like, listen, what we're dealing with now is people who don't really want to say the truth. And the truth is, just in my opinion, that a lot of people are psycho and sociopaths, but they're scared of the fight that goes with that. So they get soft. And this is what I mean. Do you remember how people were saying, people were fighting, people were getting in accidents, people were getting shot. A lot of stuff was happening to people. People were dying. And instead of helping a person, people will pull their phone out and start filming it. Like, I got to catch this. And it's like, oh, okay, you wanted to see a person get shot. You wanted to see a person get beat up. You wanted to see a person die in front of you. It's the perfect time to go live and take a picture and save it in your phone and take a video. Ooh, look at this. You filmed the accident, but you didn't help the person who was in the accident. So it doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, it makes a whole lot of sense. People are psychotic. They're psycho. And what makes it worse is people are soft. Now, I'm going to say it this way. If you listen to a lot of people that society considers like nerdy or soft, you ain't got to listen to a lot of them, but you'll notice something about people who feel like they're physically weak, right? Weaker than other people. They don't have a problem doing something to quote unquote even a score that is just sociopathic. Oh yeah, I poisoned that person. I spiked their drink. Or I gave them a drug. Or I just, you know what I'm saying? I put, I deflated their tires so it could bust. They just do kind of weird stuff. And it's like, oh, well, I felt like this person could physically dominate me, so I'm going to be smart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate and lie, cheat, and deceive because I'm being smart. And hopefully my lying, my cheating, and my deceiving, you know, leads this person into some type of bad consequence. But then it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. Oh, I planned it out, but I didn't mean it to go that way. So this is what I mean by soft and delusional. Not soft and delusional, but soft and psychotic. And it's bothersome because I'm watching people. Like if you look at a video nowadays and you can look at the comment section and you see how split sometimes the comment sections are because you see people commenting to something that's obviously dead wrong. They're commenting and they're making excuses for the behavior. And then you're seeing people, say something is wrong, that's wrong. And the question is, man, what are people doing? What are people out here enjoying? They're enjoying to see somebody suffer because they get a kick out of it. It's not them. But those same people don't want to suffer in that same way, which I don't understand. Like, you could dish it, but you can't take it. So that's what I mean, soft and psychotic. Nobody wants to talk about like all of this quote unquote trafficking and all these kids getting kidnapped. And I see, Amber Alerts all the time. And it's predominantly like white and Hispanic kids. And I'm thinking to myself, there seems to be a huge increase on people just snatching kids. I will say this: a good chunk of the kids that's being kidnapped are being, or part of an Amber Alert, are kids that's getting snatched up by their parent, whether it be their mother or their father. I will say that. But just this idea of people in the world going around snatching kids, that lets me know you soft and psychotic because why don't you try snatching an adult? You won't do that because it's too much of a fight, a hassle. You might get yourself killed. So, it's a big business to snatch a kid. And I still, to this day, remember that, what is that? The movie Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. When all the guys kidnapped the little girl and the guys he hunted down kept saying, I'm professional. I'm just professional. I'm a professional. And it's like, okay, these people are professional, kidnappers. Like that's a good thing. But you see this over and over and over and over again. So for me, it's like, what's going on? And when I'm saying what's going on, I'm asking a question because all of this psychotic behavior, people are starting to have these breaks where they're not understanding that people are not going to deal with the disrespect. Like I see it even when I listen to, like, I would say Tyrese Nasheed, but it's just in general when you see people trolling, because people are trolling people with the assumption that I could disrespect you. Like, oh, it's a good thing. I can call, I can get online, I can, hop in the chat and I can just talk crazy to you. And it's like, you mean to tell me you getting this makes you feel good that you just go on the internet and mess with people, but you wouldn't go in public and mess with people. Like when you used to see those videos of, it's a prank, bro. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank, bro. It's like, oh, you didn't expect to get hurt. People used to make those prank videos, and the guys in the videos were warned. They were warned. They were like, yo, you gonna get hurt like this. But you know what? They couldn't help themselves because I gotta get these views. So I was like, okay, you gotta get these views, no problem. So since you got to get these views, you got to get everything that go with it. But that's not what people are signing up for. Let me fast forward and use this in a different direction. I saw the little I saw some of the things with Jeezy and his divorce and not seeing his kid, and I saw the some of the interview with Shannon Sharp and Gary Owen talking about him not seeing his kids for 3.5 years. And people get mad at single mothers all the time, but I'm gonna say what I'm about to say is probably gonna add fuel to the fire. But a lot of this psychotic behavior that you're seeing is really kids raised by single mothers who are bitter, bitter baby mamas, and now their kids are grown adults, and they think the same way. And what I mean is, I saw somebody in the comments like, "Oh, he cheated, so he deserves it," and then somebody responded to him like, "So he cheated on her, so he deserved for her to turn his kids against him and make sure his kids don't talk to him no more." Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, right? And they were getting on the person. And what people are not thinking about is people raised kids like that. Like, I'm mad at this person, so I'm gonna ruin the relationship with your child. And nobody ever thought about it, but what you're seeing is the ramifications of that in society, where people are out here just saying, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it my business to find some type of leverage I can over you and make you suffer as for as long as possible, without without telling these kids that the there's a lot of quote unquote baby dads, single fathers, whatever you want to call it, who really had bitter baby mothers who they really could have stumped them out. But the only reason they didn't is because they had a kid with them. So what you got is a lot of adults skipping over the fact that, you know, these people that you're messing with in society, they don't have to deal with you. They don't have to put up with your BS. And what I'm saying is, you're seeing people interact, and they're getting shocked and surprised that I don't have to deal with this attitude. And then these people are trying to go over the top. Like, I saw a clip and I saw this a while back, where this young dude, and I don't know if it was a political thing or whatever, but this young dude was antagonizing his family. And it might be in Arizona. And the dude and the family just basically, they didn't beat him up, but they put hands on him. Like, they was grabbing him, tugging him around, like, get out of here, basically. And what happened was, they could have jumped him, but they didn't. You get what I'm saying? So they pushed him over the barrier or whatever, because they're like those like mini brick walls that's like a fence. They got him over that and like, get out of here. And what the young dude did then was, after they pushed him out of there, and they didn't punch him, they didn't kick him, they just grabbed him. He reaches for his gun, pulls out his gun, and then starts shooting. And then he went on trial talking about, I was in fear for my life. And it's like, bro, you picked a fight. They could have jumped you. They didn't. And your response was to pull out a gun when you was at a safe distance and shoot him. Okay, you soft, and you're a psychopath. And I think the guy's in jail now. But I saw the same thing with a kid in Chicago. He got into a fight with a guy. The guy beat him up. The guy backed up off of him, and then he, reached in his jacket, pulled out his gun, and then shot the guy. Like, yeah. It's like, yo, bro, what do y'all think y'all are doing out here? What's up, Art? And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, I get it. All of you kids who became adults, who y'all grew up on the internet, and y'all didn't go outside, y'all didn't know about competition, y'all didn't know about conflict resolution. Y'all started y'all couldn't handle y'all deal with life and y'all emotions, so y'all just went off the deep end. That's all. Y'all just went off the deep end. I saw the clip of the guy who chased his girlfriend in the parking lot and shot her. It's like, bro, what the? I saw a video of a little girl. She's like 13. She stabbed her mother to death because her mother took her cell phone, and then she stabbed her little brother. And then she came to her senses after her mama was dead. Like, oh, I didn't know. She was like, I'm taking responsibility for it. But now it's like, but you stabbed your mama and your brother over a cell phone. Seriously, you're a little psychopath. And the reason why stuff like this is becoming an issue, or is an issue, is because what you're seeing is the ideas and ideals of society that's going around thinking I could do whatever I want, and if I have consequences of doing whatever I want, then I can cry, or I can say oops, my bad. It's like, no. If you want to approach your life and approach the world like you're the Joker, and you're the and you're just crazy and you're a villain. You notice the Joker doesn't cry when he gets locked up. The Joker doesn't cry when he gets beat up by Batman. Since I'm using comic references, because so many adults want to be in an effing comic book, right? And see themselves as a hero or a villain or anti-hero, whatever you want to see yourself as. And I started thinking like, yo, why is everybody so soft? Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something that a lot of people don't, a lot of guys ain't gonna want to hear it, and a lot of girls ain't gonna want to hear it. I'm 44. I gotta preface that and say my age because I want people to get an understanding about what I'm about to say. I've never seen so many obese black people in my life. And why am I saying what I'm saying? Because I've never seen so many people delusional and with a bad attitude also in my life. I've never seen so many drug addicts in Black America in my life than now. And it all stems from one thing. People who have a hard time dealing with adult life and reality. So either they're eating their way through it, they're getting high the whole time, or how can I put this? Or they're just being delusional to get through it. And part of that for me is looking at us like, man, something's wrong. It's like society has lost its mind. And when you see the business sector of society, oh, this is just good business. It's good business to screw over tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of people so you can get some extra money. And then when nobody wants your product anymore, I can cry to the government. And people in society go, we need less government. The very people that say we need less government are the very people begging the government for help. They're just in a different business industry, like banks and, car makers, manufacturers, and dealerships, and, that type of stuff, right? So I'm seeing people soft in business, soft in parenting, soft in school, but everybody's a psycho. Everybody got that dog in them. Everybody's a beast. Everybody's a lion. And it's like, man. No. Everybody's not a beast. Everybody's not a lion. Some of y'all are just lying. And that becomes the issue because we're dealing with sociopaths, psychopaths who can't, the minute they got to deal with something, I hate to say this, they act like, Columbine kids. That's how they conduct themselves. You know, you're seeing all these people, you're seeing all of these adults. And I was talking about my lady about this, and then she saw it over the time. I was like, I've never seen so many men in my life concerned about hair. And it was like, the guys are getting softer and softer and softer. I've never seen so many women. And let me preface saying this about these women. I've never seen, let me do this with both of them. I've never seen so many people swear to God they have a struggle, but their life story doesn't say that. I've never seen so many people who have a vicarious struggle from somebody in their family, or some, and some of the family members ain't even alive. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents and great grandparents. Did you know your grandparents and great grandparents? Not really, but they went through this, and this is what I'm carrying. You're lying. What you're saying is you had it on easy street, and you just soft. But at the same time, we had to get the bag, which means scam a dude. The same time, we had all, everybody trying to get over on the next person, even in the dating market. And that's supposed to be all good, right? It's like, no, you psycho. You're crazy. But you soft though. Let me take this a step further to something else. If you notice now, you see a lot of gossip. Men gossip, women gossip, straight men gossip, gay men gossip, straight women gossip, gay women gossip. And they don't care if what they're gossiping about is true or not. So now people are willing to ruin somebody's reputation for some views. For some views. I need time, I need my views, I need da. Let me lie. Let me insinuate. Let me add sauce to the story. And then you gotta ask yourself, and this is how I say it's soft and it's psychotic. People stop realizing that they're being lied to because they just go into the next thing that entertain them. Oh, this story is popping. Everybody's going with it. And people are telling the truth on sometimes, and people are lying. But when people lie, nobody says, hey man, you lied about that last thing. You was lying about X, Y, Z. You lied about this. No, they don't stop watching because somebody's lying. They just go on to the next thing. It's like, oh, y'all comfortable. You comfortable being told a lie, and you comfortable believing a lie. So I got to ask the question, were you raised in a lying environment? Were you cool with, hey man, if somebody get lied on us, it is what it is. As long as I have fun in the process, we're good. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you're seeing a lot of these people have these breakdowns on social media, and you got to ask yourself, well, what are they? What are these breakdowns for? And what I mean is, I've seen far too many people get their rocks off by throwing other people under the bus, and then all of a sudden, when it's their turn, they're a martyr. Now you the closest thing to Jesus. Now you the closest thing to Martin Luther King. Now you the closest thing to Malcolm X. And it's like, yo, you psycho. Because you roll around in the mud daily. And now that the mud is on you, oh, now you need God's favor and blessing. I'm like, we got issues. I even can take that, Absolutely. I even take that to when I look at some of this church stuff. Some of this, church slash, what do you call that? Yeah, just preaching. I like it. You know, some messages are great messages, but this idea that God don't owe, like, everybody's not under attack. Everybody's not gonna be rich, right? Everybody is not cursed. You feel me? Everybody's not cursed. But the issue becomes the minute you go through something, you got to bring God into it. It's like, no, no. And why are you bringing God into it? Because you need a miracle. And why do you need a miracle? Because you never intended to put any work into what you're asking for, or what you're wanting, or what you feel like you're entitled to, or what you're desiring. And then you get older, and then you get mad at God because God, you didn't give me a Rolls Royce. Slow down, Playboy. That's what we doing. Uh-uh. Because we'll turn on God if we don't get material things. You know. So, but nobody, we never address it as psychotic. We never addressed the fact that the church was talking about haters. And it's like if you in church dealing with haters, you don't need to be in church. If y'all let haters in the church, and haters keep coming back, and haters keep putting money in the collection plate, and you still talking about haters, you out of your mind. Just like, church is not a place for haters. Church is not a place to entertain haters, because a church is quote unquote an extension of God, and if nobody can say haters gonna make it to heaven, but people don't put two and two together. But I digress. What I'm saying with this is because entitlement made a lot of us soft, made society soft. Entitlement made a lot of people psycho because people just assume I deserve this and I deserve that and I should get this and I should get that. And they're willing to do anything at that point because they feel like the world owes them something. And then, you could go on the flip side of that equation. I've listened to all these racial debates, and I think to myself, when people are talking to black people, when they're talking to us, they're soft and psychotic because they're assuming, oh, we should just be able to screw your race over forever, and we should be able to just do whatever. We should be able to disrespect you guys forever, and that's how life goes. And then the minute that people say nope, people lose their minds. They lose their minds. They're like, oh, you mean to tell me that I can't sabotage your black life and I can't screw your kids over? Just like, no. I can't do everything in the world to you with no consequence because you're black and I'm not. No, there's gonna be a consequence. You know. He said to put others. The interesting thing about that is they believed it. Some people believed it. And this is what I mean by being soft. I've been around the block. I noticed that I was a teenager, and I noticed when grown men that were not black loved to mean mug, eyeball, try to bully us as teenagers. Grown men. But when I was a grown man, somehow these grown men wouldn't do that no more. It's like, oh, okay. These black men out here, blah, blah, blah. Well, how come you don't talk to the black men? Like, let me tell y'all something. I've seen some white guys, some Hispanic guys, some Asian guys act like a complete utter thug, gangster with a teenager. But when somebody walks in that's 30, they they all of a sudden, all of that aggression and that testosterone, you know, them balls turned into breasts. It's like, oh, okay. So, part of what I was saying earlier about, people snatching the kids. You see this over and over and over again where people are soft and they psychotic, looking for an excuse. So, the other thing, um, and this is just part of society. And I've heard this before. Society has gotten dumber. And the interesting thing about stupidity is stupidity can lead you down a path of criminality. And what I see in society is a lot of stupidity being glamorized. And you look at people, and I'm not just talking about people with teenage. I'm talking 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You're seeing just all the dumbest people are blasted all over America. And you got to question something. Well, if these people, really don't, really aren't that bright, how far are they willing to go when they think they're right about something? And you see people willing to go hella far because people's emotions get into it. It ain't nothing worse than somebody dumb and emotional because they ain't smart enough to see if what they're mad about is real or not. So when your emotions get the best of you and you ain't that bright to begin with, you start doing crazy things that you, in your mind, make sense. And then you start seeing people, you're starting to see the increases, more and more people like this. Like, let me back up. When they had that insurrection, whatever you want to call it, January 6th at the Capitol a few years back. It was a congregation of idiots doing something complete, just dumb as I don't know what. But they all thought they were patriots and they were smart and they were turning a new leaf for the country. And it's like, bro, how did all of y'all fly there, congregate there, and none of y'all could go, I think this is a dumb idea to do what we're doing. It doesn't dawn on you. I was looking at a clip of Reggie Miller in New York commentating on the game with the Knicks and the Pacers, and he said before the game, "Why would I be upset in New York? I own this building, because years ago Reggie Miller used to kill the Knicks." And I thought about it when I started listening. I saw a clip of the game, and the whole stadium was hollering "F you, Reggie." And I'm thinking to myself, there was a time that you couldn't get you couldn't get a crowd to yell stuff like this, but now you can. F this, F that, people screwing your wife, your kids, blah blah blah, like jailbird, like it's a lot of, and it's a lot of cowardly behavior that's accepted in society. And now it's at a point where cowards are looking for the out. You know what I'm saying? Cowards are looking for the out. Like I've heard people, and it's sad to say this. I've heard people justify, scamming people, using people. Um, let me use a situation. I saw the situation right recently with Brian McKnight and him saying, you know, when kids are born out of will, like they're born out of sin. And I saw how people reacted to Brian McKnight saying that. And now I saw these people like we side with Brian McKnight kids, we with his kids. And I was thinking to myself, didn't his kids weren't they lazy for years and did a lot of sucker stuff? So now this tweet, y'all gonna go completely in the opposite direction. I'm not saying what he said was wrong. I mean, it was right. But I'm saying how easily society sways on principle because it's psychotic. Like, you know, we're living in a society where people believe that you can have a good heart and do bad things. And somehow, if you're perceived to have a good heart but do bad things, you're a better human being than a person who you perceive to have a bad heart but does good things. That's where we're at. This person does good things, but I'm skeptical of them because I think they got a bad heart. It's like, okay. And what about this person? They got a good heart. They just keep doing me dirty over and over and over and over again. But they gonna get it together because I feel like they got a good heart. No, you sympathetic to psychotic behavior. You know, it makes no sense. Hold up. What the heck just happened? Okay. Got you. I mean, I would say this, responding to that. The issue becomes when you have a safety net for psychotic behavior. That's where we're living now. See, I grew up in a time where people say, you're not crazy, you playing crazy. And what I see in society is a lot of soft people playing crazy. That's just how it is. A lot of soft people playing crazy, doing things wrong, and they going, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. And it's like, whatever, man. And I was clowning with a coworker of mine about this little Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap beef. And I was like, I was like, what you think? I was like, it ain't aggressive enough for me. I'm not from this. I didn't grow up in this era. That's not aggressive. I'm sorry. It's not aggressive enough. And then, and I told him, I said, it's just angry poetry, buddy. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what, though? That's pretty good. Like, and I heard a guy, one of Tariq Nasheed's callers, some white guy, I think. He was like, well, Drake's not a gangster, but Kendrick is a gangster. And I'm like, where are you from? Kendrick Lamar's not a freaking gangster. What is wrong with you? But society's so soft, everybody is a gangster now for some odd reason. And using that as a reference, since everybody's a thug, you see a million thugs that don't want no smoke. They're acting like thugs back in the day. Well, let me rewind that. There was a change. There was a change. There used to be a time where guys would walk up on you and tell you, look, I'm going to see you later. We fighting. And then it went to, we fighting, and I got to bring some weapons because I got my ass whooped the last time. Then it went from we fighting to we shoot, you know what I'm saying? You got weapons, I got weapons. Then it went from that to let me get a gun. Then it went from you need a gun, you need a gun, right? And then it went to, you know, and I'm gonna say this at the end of the day, it went to old Italian drive-by tactics where that's some cowardly stuff. Let me just shoot up the whole block and ride off and I don't even know if I shot the person because I'm scared. It's like, oh, okay, you really didn't want no problems. You really didn't want no problems. You know, you got to, Luciano, you got to tell me who neurodivergent people are, because that's not a group of people, you know. But yeah, punch you like Webby and me. Yep, but I'm a thug though. You know, I think I'm gonna probably spar this weekend on Sunday. You know, but whatever. Like people not accustomed to getting into it like that. But like I said about the psychotic thing, man, I see this theme over and over again where like going back to people really not being raised outside to deal with the elements and deal with conflict and know how to work through situations, whether they be serious or lighthearted. And you're seeing a lot of adults figuring out how to be, um, got you, figuring out how to be, quote unquote, human beings. And it's like, oh, you're late to the party. You're late to the party. And that's becoming an issue now because people don't want to hear it, but the vast majority of society became socially awkward. Socially awkward because they don't know how to deal with people. They know how to deal with people online, on apps, but not face to face. So when you disassociate yourself from an actual human connection face to face, you might just become crazy because you don't have any feelings involved. Because you don't, a lot of people don't have quote unquote empathy. Is part of why I'm saying people are psycho, is because they can't see things happening to them because they're or or how it can affect another person because they're not having enough human interactions to realize people are different. People have different lives. People are dealing with different things, and what you might do might affect them. They have no care of how life affects somebody else. Man, thank you, man. Man, thank you, Luciano. Thank you too. I'm sorry about that. Um, now we're at that stage in life. We're at the stage where, at the end of the day, you're gonna find a lot of people who are young. They're gonna grow into loneliness because they can't get along with other people, or they expect other people to accept their shenanigans, right? And it's not gonna happen. And even when I hear the stories of people back in the day were this and people back in the day did this and all the way, uh, um, you know, who would you rather be with, a man or a bear? And it's like, my pronouns are them, they, this, that. It's like, yo, I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on, or I'm a thug, or I'm a this, and it's like I'm gonna tell you what's going on at the end of the day. It's easy to see yourself as good or great or intimidating or the realist or a beast in society or a killer or having a mamba mentality. It's easy to do that inside your house on the phone. It's difficult to do that out in the world. And a lot of people see themselves in this delusional set where they're great, but they're only great in the living room, in the bedroom, at home. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to be in society and be great, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. I ain't got time for it. This is a hassle. I'm too much for this. And it's like, this is ridiculous. You know. So now we're at that point where we're watching people really having these mental breakdowns because they're dealing with society. It's like when I see some of these scams, like when I used to see all the people with the credit, where if you get this amount of credit and that amount of credit, you have this amount of money, and it's like, yo, they got to pay that money back. All these hustles. I'm rich, and I'll tell you how I got rich if you buy my book. It's like, no, 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 no. Your book is how you getting rich. All the first world problems, my friend. Yeah, I feel you on that. And some of these ain't even first world problems. Some of these, a lot of people had a good life and a good family, and they can't deal with stuff. You know. Yeah. You got a society of people who pretty much, let me say this, man. I would say, I'm gonna tell you, and this is wrong, this is harsh to say. I would say millennials, whatever, these generations have it the easiest. When I look at this is the easiest I've seen everybody in society have life. And people are cracking up, and I don't get it. And what I'm about to say might be harsh, but when I was younger and I was a teenager, there was a difference between black people, white people, as far as the class in America. And there was a difference in the level of adversity. You know what I'm saying? We knew, where you from? You soft. Now our black kids became the suburban white kids that we knew were soft. You know, but and I hate to say this, but you got young black folks who were really sheltered, trying to be, black and for the culture. You got suburban, spoiled, you know, good family having black folks who are acting like black people in blackface. Well, ignorant black people in blackface that think that's part of the culture. And it's like, y'all are so out of touch that you're black and you psychotic. Just like when I, we hear white guys. What did T.I. something for these? Yes. SWP used to say white guys were talking about Valhalla, my Viking this and Viking that. It's like, bro, shut up. You came up in a nice neighborhood with a nice family, and you got your heart broken all of a sudden, and then you became a Viking. Shut up. And I've seen it over the years evolve where, some people are psychotic in the sense of they get hurt by something, like what I just said in a sense, but to harden themselves up, they go out doing mean-spirited, evil stuff to other people because the world got to feel my pain, or I need to toughen up, so I'm gonna screw this person over and walk off because I need to learn how to be tough. And it's like, oh, you're gonna create some enemies you'll never get rid of. You know, it's not just the racism. It's not just the racism. Because I can say it, I can say it in a different way. Make America great again is white people in whiteface. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Every different group has it. Every group has this thing where, like I said, everybody had it easier. So now it's like, oh, okay. You know, I don't understand it. What I'm about to say was about to be cold-blooded. He said, boom. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is like, we're at a point where people, like 2024, people, the vast majority of people just need a struggle. Like, I'm going to tell you, the economy is on a downward spiral. And for all of these people, watch how life is. Watch how life is when people really can't afford life. Watch, because I can see the shift in that part now, where you're, in my opinion, I'm seeing a lot of non-black people basically act like 70s, 80s, and 90s black people, realizing how society is. They're getting a little bit more ingenuitive. They're figuring out how to, make $1 out of 15 cents legally. They're making hard choices. They got to work 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. Now they got to have a sense of humor. You get what I'm saying? Now they're understanding life, and it's like, oh man, wow, you're coming along to the party. But the vast majority of people are losing their minds. The vast majority of people are losing their minds. I see it every day. If I'm driving my car, too much road rage. All these people who got all this road rage they got all this aggression for the world. And you look at them in the car and it's like, it's a little white lady, a little Asian lady, some white dude that he's in a rush, but he ain't got nowhere to go. You could tell, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who wants to race cars because they didn't watch all of the Fast and Furious movies and they trying to feel like Dom. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You see people if you go to work, you see people at your job who whatever they're doing. Some of these people, their job gives them a sense of power, not purpose, but a sense of power. So now they can take out all of their frustration on the world. And I'm just like, you soft, B. You soft. And you psychotic, because nobody came, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody came to this establishment for a bad attitude. When Chick-fil-A is liked because of them being nice to people, that should let you know how bad service is everywhere else. All these other businesses, banks, car dealerships, restaurants, clothing stores, just Walmart, Target, even a church. Chick-fil-A is a standard of how you got to treat people. What is it? And they're getting young people to do this. Everybody else got a bad attitude, complain about everything. But you know what? I got to get out of here. I got some things to do. I just wanted to just speak on how this is getting out of hand. Like, society and all this psychopathic behavior is out of hand. But let me get out of here, man. Y'all have a great night. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. I'll catch y'all when y'all catch y'all. Peace.
This looks like a job for Superman.
You do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I walk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you. Coming out. Listen. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.